boy, am I excited to talk to you about this topic today. Oh my gosh. So I know that topics like this ruffle a little bit of feathers. So especially on what's perceived to be, which is crazy, someone that's supposed to be our referral partners and our best friends. Some people perceive the real estate agent as kind of like a necessary evil, and the same thing vice versa, where real estate agents are like, gosh, these loan officers, they overpromise and underdeliver. They don't train like pros. They don't track my leads. They don't update me. They run from problems. They undercommunicate, and the list goes on. So my role and responsibility in the industry that I've chosen myself is to elevate each side, to change the game on the way that we look at each other, loan officers and real estate agents as a whole. Now, what I'm very clear on is that I have real estate agents that are best friends. I have real estate agents that are in my courses. I've written scripts with the right framework for real estate agents, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys. I mean, the list goes on. But where I'm speaking to in this particular video is that I'm speaking to the masses that think that you have to kiss up, that you have to just bring someone to a steak dinner or a coffee and just wow them with your good looks or how amazing, how funny you are, talk about your family, and they're just gonna give you leads. And let's be real, a lot of people think that that is the way to get business because that's the way that we were like accidentally taught. So in like 2012, 2013, cold calling really like set on fire, became a thing more so than ever in the loan business, where before, like I telemarketed in high school and then even after high school before I started loan processing, and we were telemarketing straight to consumer. We were passing off leads to our loan officers that paid for me to be a telemarketer for them, and that was what it was. Somewhere along the lines, and I feel like it was around like 2008, around the crash, where we couldn't do direct mails that, posted stuff about NAGAM loans or interest onlys or whatever. And we started teaching real estate agents how to create like first-time homebuyer seminars, and we started creating like how to do down payment assistance programs, and we would have to call real estate agents, I know because I did this, and get them all in a room and teach them like the CHDAP was a thing back then, behind an FHA, increasing the price and to cover closing costs and all that stuff. So I think that's where at least I learned that behavior. But what happened is nobody really taught me, and it wasn't really a thing in the mortgage industry. It was like outside of the industry, but wasn't really a thing to give value to learn how to market yourself better, how to give education. Remember, marketing equals education. So anytime you're giving value or teaching somebody something, you're marketing yourself, because if you give someone that kind of value that helps them make more money and close more deals, they're going to reciprocate. Law of reciprocity. They're going to give you deals back. So when you're doing these calls, now I teach it differently. I teach video text messages, which is for another training, but it works like a charm and you give value in it. There's no need to go do a one-on-one coffee appointment. Let me tell you, I read this book, One Too Many by Jason Fladlin. I think that's how you say his last name. God, I've been coached by him too in a group setting, and I should know how to pronounce his name. Sorry, Jason, you're amazing. So if you are still doing coffee appointments, you are marketing yourself one-to-one. You are spending hours and hours and hours cold calling, getting someone to say yes to you, getting your hair and makeup done or whatever, getting ready, whatever. And you're driving over there and you're talking for like maybe 45 minutes to an hour, because let's face it, it ends up being about 45 minutes. They always say, like a lot of coaching programs that I've been in the past will say like in and out, 20 minutes, like be respectful of their time. Yes, in a perfect world, a top producing loan officer is going to contact and give value to a top producing real estate agent, and they're gonna help them market better, get more out of the database. It's gonna be such a win-win conversation, and everybody's gonna love each other, and it's gonna be this lifelong partnership. Loan officer tracks the leads, real estate agent makes sure that the referral client stays loyal to the loan officer, nobody rate shops. It's just perfect. But that's not the way it happens. A lot of loan officers don't manage a database. They don't really even know what their niche is, where they're the brain surgeon, which when I get into the do this instead part of the topic is going to be explained to you on what else to do. But right now, the kind of like MO is I'm going to cold call. I'm going to get somebody to go to coffee. I'm going to do one-to-one marketing, not one-to-many. I'm going to spend 3 hours like driving there, talking, coming back, scrolling online in my warm car before I go back in the office or my home office. Click back into gear, which I'll probably grab a little bit of food first. Maybe I'll call my manager, tell him how the coffee meeting goes, all of that. So it's a big waste of time. You're not providing value, and you really are having that purposely having that coffee appointment so you can get leads. That is what a real estate agent does not like. So when I'm doing a Facebook ad or have a headline about stop, kissing up to real estate agents, if you want to be a top producer, do this instead, or whatever. If a real estate agent gets offended, then I can't help them. Because number one, when you start putting yourself out on video, hate is gonna hate. Now, there's always gonna be like the real haters that like have nothing to do with the loan industry and they're not real estate agents. They have like the masks on and they have like 2 followers in one post and they purposely just spread hate. So that's like, no, you can't even listen to those kinds of things. But there is people on the other side of the fence, which is a terrible way to say, because we should be partnering up with all referral partners and joining forces to serve our community. But that's not always the way it feels. It feels like we have to kiss their butts. They are alarmists. They send our referrals to a bunch of different people. They're not loyal. And then they do give us leads once in a while. So we'll just put up with it. And it's just a really bad thing. But then we don't track their leads and we don't follow up and we run from problems and we're just chasing. We're just on this hamster wheel of like unhealthy relationship. So I teach that there's a better way. But when people are on this, let's just call it other side of the fence, I've gotten a couple comments, which, bless our industry's heart, because I got like 43,000 something views on one of my Facebook ads, and only 2 real estate agents has commented, so I really can't complain. And you know what? I do welcome the perspective because it helps me keep my finger on the pulse, and I like to see other loan officers joining in and like commenting, and they have a little bit of like friendly banter back and forth. So I welcome it, but I want to read some of the comments. And you tell me what you think in the comments below. Okay, so my ad was how to become a top producing MLO in any market without kissing up to realtors. Free training. Now, I could see that might upset certain referral partners because the language implies that the real estate agents are demanding or difficult to work with, which is never true, right? Which might make them feel attacked or stereotyped. So another key of, kind of perceived criticism is they might interpret kissing their butts as a suggestion that they expect or encourage unbalanced relationships. So whether you think this is true or not, I know that I personally have been involved in relationships like that. Now, this is only a small handful, but hey, it's a little painful when you're stuck in that kind of like unhealthy relationship on both sides. So another thing is, it's like sensitivity to their reputation. So when somebody tells me, oh gosh, when I was heavily producing loans, I went down to Primo's, it's in downtown Danville, and my friend Barb was like, hey Tiff, I need you to meet my friend. You guys would be perfect together. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I mean, perfect together in business. I'm taken. So I walked over to him. I said, hey, my friend Barb, I had my beer in my hand. We were watching the Warriors game. I said, my friend Barb said that we need to get to know each other. What do you do for work? And he said, oh, I'm a real estate agent. What do you do? And I was like, oh, I'm a loan officer. What company do you work with? And he said, oh, you're a loan officer. That's why she wanted us to meet. So kid you not, he said this. So what are you gonna call me a bunch of times on Mondays and ask me for lunch and ask me to go to lunch and ask me for a bunch of leads and shit? And I'm like, oh my gosh. He's lucky I didn't have a shot and a beer because Henri Tiff would have come out like my alter ego. But instead, what I said was, I know. I'm sorry. Thank God I had the wherewithal to say it in that moment because I wanted to just go livid because it was so rude. So I do understand when real estate agents see something on an ad and they comment because it's puts you on the defense about your industry and who you are as a person, and it does feel a lot like a personal attack. So I said, I know, I'm sorry, I am a top producing mortgage lender. I'm moving into coaching because this was years ago. And I said, I'm doing my best to change the industry. So here's my card. I would love to meet up with you, hear your story, and make sure that never happens to you again. Or I don't even know if I gave him my card, but something. I really felt going in MMI, looking up his numbers right then and just showing him that I was a top producer and I was so cool, and he probably only sold 2 houses, especially with that attitude. But it just goes to show it does work both ways. So I can't be upset when an agent says something like that to me, I have to understand that that's just like an industry perception at times. Same goes with why I say that you need to learn how to go out and get more market share and stop kissing up, because that's not what realtors want. So the agent said, you're right, we don't want that. We want referrals. We want you to fight for our clients, and we want you to answer the phone when we call you. Hey, you know what? I completely get, if she just stopped there, I'd be like, hey, that's totally cool. She said, but the condescending attitude here is enough to turn all of us off. Well, I don't know who all of us is, but I've coached thousands of loan officers, and they all are like, stop chasing realtors. When I say, what do you want out of this masterclass, or how can I help you? I want to get on video. I want to go straight to consumer. I want to market on Facebook ads. I want to stop kissing butt. I want to stop chasing. Like, they're in pain. I want to stop one-to-one marketing. I want to stop buying coffees, dirty martinis, all these things. They're in pain because that's somewhere along the way where we've been taught, right? So I said, many MLOs over the years have developed, this was my response to the agent, many MLOs over the years have developed the thought that kissing up and buying drinks or buying leads was the only way. You don't want that, they don't want that, and you know what? That's not true, meaning there's a better way. You don't want that, I don't want that, there's a better way. Thought I was pretty nice about it, but I help mortgage loan originators give true value, helping others earn wins for their families and helping loyal referral partners. A softer way of saying this falls on deaf ears. I always appreciate all perspectives though. Thank you for commenting. God, I think her next comment was like, do I have to get crayons and spell it out for you? So I looked, she has like 500 followers, and I don't even know. She's like clear across the United States. So she said, you'll never get a dime in my business. I'm like, cool, because I don't do loans anymore. I teach loan officers how to market better and how to get more loans. So awesome. But what's interesting is my ideal client, right, is loan officers are loving this. Like, that's right. Like one of them said, Sarah, said, this is probably why I don't have much business, because I refuse to be fake and schmooze people. I'm just me. I'm authentic. I'm like, hell yeah, Sarah. Authenticity is the best way to win. Authenticity vibrates at one of the highest frequencies. That's what's going to be a magnet to attract business and so forth. So just to wrap up on that before we go into what you actually do instead of kissing butt. Number one, please hear it differently. It's not a knock to agents. It's not saying that everybody is all the same. And it's just a way to say, you know what? Maybe before you go have that coffee and you sit there and like shoot the breeze about how many kids you have and you buy the coffee, maybe think outside the box and think about, oh my gosh, marketing equals education. Consistency equals currency. Attention is the new currency. The more eyes I can get on my brand, the better I'm going to be. The more leads I'm going to get. Leads solve problems. Like, these are the kinds of things that we want to be telling ourselves and implementing strategies around that thought and those phrases that I just rattled off, so agents don't feel attacked for business every Monday. So quick story before I go into kind of like what you need to do instead is one of my agents that is a very good friend of mine, and she is in my courses. She comes to my live trainings. She said, Tiff, I cannot, she's giggling like the whole time. And whenever I'd say something about like, realtors don't want that, blah, 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 she's in there. She pulled me aside after my live event and she said, Tiff, thank you for saying the things that you said. She said, do you know that these same 5 loan officers that call me every Monday, they email me, they ask me to do first-time homebuyer seminars, because she owns a company in Pleasanton. So they asked me to do first-time homebuyer seminars. And if I get one more loan officer that wants to come in and teach me a first-time homebuyer seminar, like, I'm going to scream, because that's your responsibility as a loan officer. Teach me how to market. Teach me the things, Tiff, that you're teaching loan officers. If a loan officer said, hey, let's hop on an Instagram live together. Hey, I was thinking, here's the top 3 issues that our community is having right now. Do you want to speak to that? And our call to action can be dropping a calendar link, and we both get on the call together and we do a discovery session. Let's fill up our calendar together. Let's try it out. Like, what do you think? That is of benefit to an agent. Okay, so no kissing, but give them value, and help them with their marketing strategies. So that was one thing. Second part that she said that really hit home. She said, Tiff, I have been hounded by the same 5 loan officers consistently, and I invited all 5 of them to this event. I saved the spot. I put my purse down for my coat in another chair, and I noticed it was her and all of her stuff, and then somebody like to the side, and I didn't know why until after the event was over. She said, did you know not one of those loan officers showed up? They had an opportunity to learn with me, grow with me, figure out ways to work together, get to know me. We could eat lunch together on the event lunch break, rub elbows with me. Not one of them showed up. So she said, guess what, Tiff? I will never respond to another one of those loan officers ever again, okay? Because they're trying to kiss up and schmooze. She said she sees some of them at, and let me just back up. This agent is probably one of the nicest human beings I have ever met in my whole entire life. Like, she is not an a-hole. She is so cool. And even she's getting burnt out on the way our approach is as LOs to the other side, which shouldn't be the other side, but it's real estate agents. So she said, I will go to a networking event like a crab feed. I'm having so much fun. I'm drinking my wine, and they're like practically like trying to get me drunk. They're sitting by me. They're rubbing elbows like right up against me, and they're asking me about business, and they're not giving me value. She's like, I didn't realize what was bothering me, but they were just schmoozing me and they weren't giving me value. So when you said, Tiff, go give as a loan officer, go give value to your referral partners, they will respect you more. You will attract leads without having to chase leads. And if you train like pros and track your leads and show up on video, you're researchable and findable, you got a great reputation, heck yeah, as an agent, I'm gonna give you, LO, the business. So it was really interesting to hear her perspective on like, she's tired of it. So 99% of the agents out there will be like, oh my gosh, Tiff, absolutely. Please tell them to stop calling me. Please tell them to go get business, give me business, show me how to like push myself to get on video. That's what I want for the industry. I want to elevate the way that we love each other and the way we work together. So there's also something called a hook. If you don't be a little bit in your face on a Facebook ad, your cost per lead is going to be $20, $50 instead of $3.20 like mine is. Like my team got it down. My team comes up with, I tell them all the problems, I tell them people's fears, people's worries, what they don't like doing, and they come up with the hooks and the ads creation. It's not like me typing and setting up my ads manager account and all of that. I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. So remember, it's called a hook. It's to call out somebody's objections, someone's thoughts, someone's problems, someone's pain, and that's what I teach my loan officers to do, is to call out being the brain surgeon, call out problem solving, and calling out your ideal client and kind of like what they're thinking or what they don't even realize that they're thinking. So here's what to do instead. There's a better way. So the fourth segment of this is there is a better way. Number one, become the brain surgeon of your niche. Okay, specialize and dominate. Remember, write this down. If you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. So if you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. Meaning, if you're doing a video like this and it says, hey, this is Susie with XYZ Mortgage. Call me with all your mortgage needs. Visit my website today. Thank you. Happy Monday. Everything is wrong with that video, which, you know, congratulations. If your videos sound like that, congrats, because my videos and my ads all used to sound like that. I had to learn that there was a better way. So no shame, no blame, just gain. But you're speaking to everybody. And I'll talk about driving traffic, not driving traffic to your website in just a minute. But you want to say things like this. Top 3 misconceptions of a first-time home buyer, okay? You're calling out your niche. Or number 1 myth I'm busting right now is that reverse mortgages is only for desperate seniors. That is absolutely not true. Okay, that's a hook. That's going to call out your niche. It's going to myth bust. It's going to get people to stop and think. So if you're saying, hi, this is Susie with XYZ Mortgage, number 1, people are not going to stop and go, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to hear what Susie with XYZ Mortgage Company says. You are also taking the time, valuable time, because we're fighting for attention in 3 seconds on social media. And again, that's why subject lines are so important. Instead of saying, happy 4th of July, I want you to say, the number 1 myth I bust for first-time homebuyers, or here's how to buy a house with blah, 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 right? Less than perfect credit, or what my client said to me last week that blew me away. Because you're fighting for attention in 3 seconds in email, on social media, in ads, whatever, ads or social media, okay? In conversations, but we're talking about social media especially. So you want to call out your niche, never introduce yourself, because people either already know who you are or they don't care what your name is. They want to see, what is this person? What is Susie going to give to me? How is it going to be of value? And they're thinking of this unconsciously. They're not purposely going, oh, I don't care what your name is. I don't care what company you work for. They are just unconsciously just continuing to scroll. So you want to call out the niche, and you will call out this doing what's called a hook, okay? Now, you want to position yourself as the expert that attracts leads organically. Now, this is talking to real estate agents. So if you're doing a video and you're saying top 3 misconceptions of a first-time homebuyer, number 1, that you call a real estate agent first. Stop burning the real estate agent's time. You come to me. I make sure we come up with a plan. We get the money pulled together. Then I connect you with an expert in that that community that you have the purchase power to buy in, right? Comment link below and get on the call, book a call for a pre-purchase strategy session. That is what's going to help real estate agents when they're scrolling and they're seeing your ad or your organic post or over and over and over. And it's like, number one, stop burning the real estate agent's time. If you don't know what you're approved for, blah, 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 it's going to be less harsh and it's going to actually get the real estate agent to notice you. It's also going to get your future clients to notice you also. So imagine if you said, the number one misconception is that you need 20% down. I was amazed to find out that over 81% of first-time homebuyers think that you need 20% down. So while you're on the couch, stuck, you're drinking wine, you're upset, your landlord just raised your rent like an old country song, and you think that like the world is over, guess what? I got news for you. You don't need 20% down. I have helped so many people with way less than 20% down. There's gift funds from relative, down payment assistance, leveraging your retirement, blah, 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 the list goes on. That's giving value. That's helping somebody. So when you say on a video, call me with all your mortgage needs, visit my website, they don't know what their mortgage needs are because they think they need 20% down. You go in and you can provide value of saying, look, and remember, stories sell. I've helped thousands, hundreds of clients. I've helped several clients, whatever you want to say. I've helped many clients buy a home with way less than perfect credit or way less than 20% down. So comment the word link or message me and I'll send you my calendar or links in bio. So when you start doing things like this, you're providing value to your future clients on social media. Remember, we have our phones in our hand. Like, I think we touch it like 2,500 something times a day unknowingly. For low to moderate users, heavy users touch it like over 5,000 times a day. You've got to be showing up on people's feed. You have to. Then when you got your social media bio tight and right, you got your framework that I just kind of went over tight and right, you're going to get the leads first. Now, you're going to be able to give those deals to the real estate agents and meet with them or do a Zoom, okay? No more coffees and expensive dinners and all of that. Just meet them on Zoom. Learn the skills that you need to be just good enough at technology to be able to communicate in an effective way that collapses time. So now you're going to learn the framework. You're going to learn how to go straight to consumer. You're going to have your social media bio tight and right. You're going to learn Calendly. You're going to learn all this stuff. Now you're going to teach it to your referral partners. Now, this goes for not just realtors, right? This is for anybody, CPAs, financial advisors, divorce attorneys, whatever. But when you learn these things, you are marketing, you are learning how to market, you're giving it back to agents that have taken care of you over the years, and now you can teach them how to market, okay? So remember, the market got a lot more competitive because, interest rates are such a hot topic and everything. But remember, like, there's so many thousands of people that left the business. So going back to kind of the framework, when you learn how to do these things, remember, like I said, stories sell. So when you're saying things like the framework I just gave you about like, I've helped many people buy a house with way less than perfect credit or less than 20% down, and you have your Calendly link and all that stuff, you're teaching this to referral partners. They will love to know this information. You're doing it on Zoom. So learn technology. Learn if you don't have a Zoom account, you don't know, like there's so many students that I have record their coaching calls and they're like, how do you do that? How do I record? And I'm like, oh, it's at the bottom. It's the little record button. They're like, which one, to the cloud or to the computer? I'm like, well, don't do it to the cloud because it's going to go to my cloud, and just record to your computer. They don't know where it goes. They don't know how to copy an invite and invite a participant. So that's why the coffee meetings and the wastes of time and those things keep happening. It's because we are becoming dinosaurs because we're afraid of adapting to our ever-changing environment. We're afraid of evolving and getting better and making our business better. Do this now because people are getting used to interest rates being higher than what they were, obviously, in 2020 and around that time. They're getting used to booking calls on a link. They're getting used to having qualifying questions. They're getting used to video all the time. They're getting used to going and researching loan officers on Instagram and Facebook and Googling their name. If you are not on video and you don't have any Google 5-star reviews, you're not researchable and findable. It's going to make it really hard on your referring partner that is loyal to you to say, oh, go work with Tiffany Rose because, when you Google her, like, she's got all these 5-star reviews and all these things. Go find her on YouTube. Go consume some of her content. If you aren't researchable and findable, people are going to pass you by because the world, like the baby boomers, are aging out of, buying being obviously, they're not first-time home buyers. The millennials, there's a huge wave of millennials coming in to buy. And those are the ones that are first thing they do. They want to know about this person. They want to find you on social media. Their parents are the ones that are helping them with down payment, co-signing, giving them gift funds and all that stuff, pulling out of the baby boomers' equity line and helping their children, adult children, buy houses. They have questions around this. You want to be speaking to these people on video. Again, consistency is currency. So when you do the right framework, you have calendar links set up, you stop driving traffic to your website because nobody's going to go visit your boring canned website and fill out a loan application. Okay, sorry to tell you, but you can be a top producer and people do not go that they want to talk to you. They want to get on the phone. Do you know any people, when they go into my coaching, when I first started this, they weren't talk to only me. I had to kind of position and create boundaries because my time became more and more limited. They've got to talk to my team if they want to know about Ignite or Leap or Wake Up to Wealth or whatever. So you start you train people how to treat you. So don't be afraid to drop the calendar link, to go out and do all these things and to show up in people's social media. You aren't annoying your friends and family if you are giving value. You're not exhausting them because you're not asking for business. You're not kissing their butts, so they'll give you their listing when they want to sell their house, same way as you're not kissing real estate agent butts. Nobody wants that. Think about if you were on a date and you're just kissing let's say I'm the girl, so I'll just say, kissing the guy's butt the whole date, just chasing him, and I'm texting him, you're so handsome, oh my God, I want to get married. I would never get a man. The best way for me to have gotten married many times, now a few times, 2 times, I'm engaged for the 3rd time, but let's not talk about that. That's for a different day. So anyways, the best thing I ever said that hook, line, and sinker, right, is I said, I don't want to be in a serious relationship. I just want to see, I just want to go to dinners, country music concerts, and I just want to see what happens from there. I swear he fell in love right then. Because when I was not kissing his butt, I wasn't begging. I wasn't begging for a next date. I wasn't saying, let's get married. You have to date people before you hop in the sack with them. It's the same thing with a realtor relationship or referral partner. So remember that when you're doing things like this. Now, so we've covered the framework. We've covering more market share. Thousands of people left the business. And now people are getting used to rates being higher. They're coming back in and they're buying no matter what. The adult children are getting gift funds from relative. You're doing some fire content. Now, you have to do this consistently. Consistency is currency. The more you show up, the more you give value. The more you show up, the more attention you get, the more your Instagram algorithm loves you, the better you get in video, the more, remember, it's only hard at first until it's easy. That's that. Now, you do that video with the right framework, calendar links, no more coffee appointments. Instead, you are Zoom inviting real estate agents, and you guys are talking about how you can love each other and serve the community better. That's what you want to do. Now you take this into your CRM and you make better subject lines. Now you maybe take your organic posts and you run them on Facebook ads. You put money behind it, right? You pay for speed, you pay for attention. You position yourself as the expert when you show up consistently because it builds trust with your audience. Now, again, you're going to have the leads, you're going to pre-qualify them, you're going to hand off pre-qualified leads to your agent, and you hold the power. Now, if the real estate agent sees that they're getting a ton of leads from you because leads solve problems, so this is another problem it's going to solve, they're going to make sure that they call you first. Tiffany has given me 10 leads this month and they're all qualified and they're ready to go and they're in this neighborhood that I'm the expert, I'm the brain surgeon in, and guess what? They're rate shopping, I'm going to go call Tiff. They're going to be more loyal to you because you're feeding them business. You're reciprocating, right? That's law of reciprocity. They're going to want to make sure that they help you out as well. They're going to want to co-collab. They're going to find out what you're doing to get all of this business in. So that's really we really have to think outside the box more and think about how important it is to invest in skills that nobody, no real estate agent, no referral partner, no boss, no company they can't take it away from you. And those skills, if my whole database got taken away, if all my Instagram, everything got shut down, I would know how to rebuild it in a heartbeat because I invested in skills. I can go teach that to people, and I know all of these tools and strategies now that I've spent the last years fine-tuning, pushing through challenges, learning for 5 years, and wrapping it up in a pretty bow for my Ignite members, for my loan officers, okay? So that's thinking outside the box. That's going outside of the loan industry and thinking about how can I apply this to the current industry, right? So identifying your ideal niches, whether it's first-time home buyers, doctors, relocations, whatever, focusing on solving their unique pain points, creating value-driven content. This is lead magnets. This is freebies. This is top 10 things to do and don't do when you're applying for a home loan, and you give that to them in your email, right? With a PS, book a call for a free 30-minute pre-purchase strategy session. Now, I know I talk fast. It's just what I do, okay? But it's because I have so much in my brain that I need to say to help you see why kissing butt is not the way to go. Investing in skills consistently and investing in your ability to communicate is what's going to help you market and give the deals back to the people, like the person that commented and said, we want you to do this and that and give us deals. We want you to pick up the phone. Hey, those are all valid points. And that's what I teach my students to do. So in a way, she's blocking loan officers. She's tainting my message to block loan officers that are going to show up and stop cold calling her and instead give her leads because they're going to be better marketers. She's blocking that. Wow, what a karmic universe we live in, right? So lead magnets, all that kind of stuff. Educational videos, blogs, social media posts, addressing common problems and misconceptions and myths. Leveraging social media ads, running targeted campaigns, building relationships through value. Remember I said earlier, marketing equals education. How does this help realtors? Like for anybody who felt a little bit offended, like, ooh, I don't know if she could say that or not. I don't know if that like kind of ruffles my feathers a little bit. Look, it's by generating leads, loan officers generating leads and providing value and leads to you as the agent instead of them relying on you. It's like flipping the script. I mean, how amazing is that when I teach loan officers to be better marketers, to give more value to you, it's a win-win. They're not going to cold call you and ask you if you want to go get drunk with them, get a hangover on a Tuesday night, right? I used to do that. I had babies at home and I was drinking like dirty martinis, going to revel downtown just to find out that they would say like, well, you know, if you looked at my numbers, I'm just not producing that much because I'm about to retire anyways. I kind of half work, or my wife is a breadwinner, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Tiffany, like there's got to be a better way. So I started searching. Now this was 2012-13, so this is a long time ago. And now with my now 4-year-old, I've done it all different. I have boundaries, I have calendar links. Nobody gets my time unless they want to move mountains with me together. They want massive growth for themselves. For me, they're willing to push through challenges. They're willing to work hard, because anybody that tells you that like a relationship, marketing, video, anything's so easy right from the get-go, they're lying to you. There's no magic pill, right? You got to be in it. You got to learn together, grow together with your referral partners, with your team, with yourself. Be patient with yourself, because remember, again, it's only hard at first until it becomes easy, right? So you don't need to, like, basically bottom line, you don't need to be salesy or sleazy to get business. So you don't need to be salesy or sleazy and feel like you have to take a shower after you cold call. Or if you're not cold calling, but you're calling like partners, you're updating them on leads or giving value like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, you may already have a lender, but if you allow me to share this with you, I would love that. I'd be honored. So here's my quick message. Here's 3 ways I'm solving this problem with HOA being in litigation. Here's 3 ways I'm helping real estate investors get qualified when they have blah, blah, blah. Here's 3 ways I'm solving the affordability problem, because what we're finding is down payment assistance, when utilized, makes our mortgage payment too high. So keep me in mind. If you have a lender, great. I hope you found this information helpful. Thank you, bye. Right? You're not asking for business. You're just, and by the way, you're doing this on video text, which again, I think I said it earlier, it's a whole other training, is a 10 video texts a day instead of calling. But think outside the box. I really, really, really strongly encourage you to think outside the box, think differently. Studies show that when you follow the herd, the masses, generally speaking, got it wrong. When you follow the road less traveled, you'll never make another mistake again in your life. Bob Proctor says this. So, the late Bob Proctor. So if this resonated with you, subscribe for more strategies, hit the thumbs up, comment. I want to hear your perspective. If you're just so mad at this headline and you're like, oh my God, I'm a realtor and I just need to like, go for it, right? I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the back and forth. I'm doing my best to change the game, to improve the way that we interact together, not harm it. So, hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.